First is the capacity, which was tasked while you are going to find the resources and determining how much of the service we could turn up in which places. Dependencies, the second one, which work with the teams that own the Meet's infrastructure. For example, Google's account authentication authorization systems, to ensure that these systems also had enough resources to scale with the usage growth. Then we got the bottlenecks, which was responsible for identifying and removing the relevant scaling limits in our system. The next one, the fourth one, is the control knobs, which built new generic mitigations into the system in the case of an imminent or maybe in progress capacity outage. And then we got the production changes, the fifth one, which safely brought up all the found capacity, redeployed the servers with some newly optimized tuning, and finally pushed the new releases with some additional control knobs which are ready to be used. Foster the learning culture. So how to implement a learning culture? Number one, you need to create a training budget and advocate it internally. So emphasize how much the organization values a climate of learning by putting resources behind the formal educational opportunities. Ensure that your team has the resources to engage in some informal learning and the space to explore ideas. So learning often happens outside of the formal education. So some companies like 3M and Google, they set aside a portion of time for focused free thinking and exploration of some side projects. The third one is to make it safe to fail. So if failure is punished, people will not try new things. So treat failures as opportunities to learn and hold blameless postmortems to work out how to improve the processes and the systems. Help the people feel comfortable taking the reasonable risks and create a culture of innovation. The fourth one is to create the opportunities and spaces to share the information. So whether you hold weekly lightning talks or you offer the resources for monthly lunch and the learners, so set up a regular cadence of opportunities for employees to share their knowledge. The fifth one is making the resources available for continued education. For example, attending the conference is important for both exposure to new technology and case studies as well as networking with the peers. Now let's see ways to improve your learning culture. Moving ahead, right? So have regular lunchtime meetings. So that's like some brown bags, right? Where one person presents about a project they are working on in a new tech or something they are investigating. Rotate the presentations among team members and reward people for presenting. When people attend conferences, they have them share the new ideas through the presentations or maybe some trip reports. You can even host regular meetups or some mini conferences to increase the networking and exposure to some new technologies and ideas. And we need to encourage people to get the certifications or maybe some external trainings. You can help with this by covering the costs of external trainings and forming the study groups that are a part of normal work activity. Now let's see what are the ways to measure the learning culture. So learning is the key to improvement. Once we quit learning, we endanger our future. Learning is viewed as an investment, not an expense. Foster a culture of blamelessness. Let failure lead to inquiry. Again, hold the blameless postmortems. The response to failure shapes the culture of an organization. Blaming individuals for failures, it will create a negative culture. Now, if instead failures lead you to ask the questions about what caused the failures and how you can keep them from happening again in the future, you have actually improved your technical system, your process, and your culture. So you need to train the messengers. This means we want people to bring us the bad news so we can make things better. Hold blameless postmortems. By removing the blame, you remove fear, and by removing fear, you enable teams to surface the problems and solve them more effectively. Also, create and foster an environment where it is safe to take some smart risks and fail, so that anyone can surface problems at any time, even without the ceremony of a postmortem.
For more details, check the link in the description. Learn with Whizlabs. Success certified.